Alright, we are back to Arham and to regular episodes of Agents, as it were. With two agents soon joining us. But yes, we are back. Session recap? Do you remember what happened? What is it? It's almost a month ago.
The priest was attacked on the streets.
Yes.
Nin disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she did.
We found out about Nin's secret plotting against Praanz and their connection with a certain leper.
Indeed. See, the dog agrees.
And our erstwhile companions decided to go somewhere they shouldn't go, by themselves for all intents and purposes. The Iron Cube, the Iron Rubik's, Leviathan, Lord
Iron
of the Abyss.
Tower.
That's
and you're
what I'm
also
looking
forgetting the entire first half of it, which was us actually getting to finally interact with more the mysterious Malakmungas
Yes.
and do a little bit of investigation
for. I don't trust that leper.
into the fire, and there was much description of bodies and their disturbing fascination with drawing said bodies.
Yes. There was a whole long section there about doing an autopsy on the body that was found in the fire. I am completely amiss here in my order because everything is kind of tossed up because we are waiting for two people who will join us. But here with us right now is
That was an autopsy? I thought they were putting out a charcuterie board.
Exactly. Sin is playing.
Lady Taralese da Bravaleti.
Indeed. And Rook is playing.
I am still playing Malakai, the current representative of the Queen of Salt and Spray, Vemsica.
Yes. And agents Praanz da Kaelve and Erald the Mereld will join us in a little while. But before we do that, we will also summarize the Shadow Turn number 3 that happened as we were doing things on Discord between sessions, as per always. I'm also gonna, I realized that I have not in fact done that before. Explain a little bit to the audience how this stuff works. So on this map, you can see numbers. You can see names of shadow powers, and then influence numbers, which can be 1, 2, or 3. And then you can see resources and the resource strength. So Assassins 3 are in the fisheries, for instance. The whole point of this, really, in terms of how it links into the normal roleplay, for the benefit of the audience, is to get high influence in these various areas. And those influence points can be used to help or hinder characters during RP. And you want to have as high as possible. If you can get level 3, you are dominant in that particular area and can do very dramatic things to help or hinder other people. So that is basically the link between the two levels of play. And when we're doing this on Discord, everybody's submitting their moves and they're trying to raise their influence or make their own resources stronger. The resources are used to get the influence, or maybe attacking each other. That can happen as well. Attacking each other's resources, which is actually something that did happen this term. Let's go over this in some detail. In the fisheries, we had Gerion Grotesque's Laborers, level 3. So each of these labels are just something that each player is inventing for them. So in this case, we have Gerion Grotesque, the freedom fighter from Trinsmira, or terrorist if you're Trakorian. He has a group of laborers there in the fisheries. They have mobilized and leveled up one step from level 2 to level 3, and I don't have his description because this was a couple of weeks ago and I must have lost that note. Dang it. Anyway, But also, we have some mafiosos there who are working for the organized crime syndicate out of Tresilve under the leadership of Ingolma Dokela. She also mobilized her mafiosos. They went from level 2 to level 3 by... this is what happened. More muscle seems to be showing up around the fisheries, and even some of the locals are being recruited to the family. There is good money here, better quality jobs than hauling fish. The boss will take care of you and your loved ones, and all you gotta do is follow orders. And that's how the mafiosos got stronger during these days. Meanwhile, I can tell you that the assassins were also mobilizing, getting from level 2 to level 3. They've been reassigned to address the violence against the common Majoran laborers from last turn, after being chased from Hightown by the Digitalunga, the Secret Service. So most of all of these resources have been getting stronger for themselves, except for Klenora's merchant. She, and this is, Klenora is of course run by Sin during the Game of Shadows. So this, there you go, my note. She was raising her influence at the fisheries, and she succeeded. The merchant makes use of his established contracts to expand his network. He's done right by them, and why not let others be able to get in on a good deal to make some more coin? And apparently the locals are very, very pleased with this. The success was rolled, so Klenora now has level 2 influence in the fisheries, which means that Klenora can help Lady Taralese or Captain Vemsica or such like if they choose to go to the fisheries during the session. We'll see. Meanwhile, in Lowtown, because that is bordering there, we have only 2 resources there who can do things. You can only do things in an area if you have resources there. One is the secret agents of Sambarsund Trakoria, the Inquisitor, who is the boss for Erald and Mereld. They were mobilizing this time as well, went from level 3 to level 4. Seeing that the ruse had been caught in the infirmary, they went to Lowtown and developed their routines for caution. They will take more caution next time to make sure that they're well received. In Golma, her bookies, well, they've already established a bit of a gambling den in Lowtown, and now they've spent this turn mobilizing, going from level 2 to level 3. With the increase in gambling in the area, more bookies are needed to make bets. It seems someone has their eye on Lowtown and isn't too subtle about it. But hey, it's Lowtown. Not even the authorities seem to care. So it works well for them. Mobilizing a resource is always automatically successful. Raising influence, not so much. You have to roll for it. And it can be stopped, as you will find when we go on to other areas. In the infirmary, let's see now. I will recall that Fundibera's priests were mobilizing, and again oh yes, there we go. So, we can see that more of our holy order are required to ensure the spiritual safety of the sick and injured. So, the priests there have organized themselves and gone from level 2 to level 3. Meanwhile, the Shagolites, which are run by the same player who's running Malik Mangus, of course. You can see the factions here, maybe. They raised influence to level 3, which gives them total control of the area for now, or dominant influence, I should say. You never have total control in this game. And she rolled a lot of dice to accomplish that. And apparently beneficent spirits appear to the sick and afflicted, as well as their families and loved ones, offering comfort and granting visions of events long past and the bright future that is yet to come. Most importantly, this stands as an enduring testament of the power and beneficence of your friendly neighborhood healing order, the Shagolites. Surely such kindly magic could not be anti-creationist. And apparently the people locally believe this, that the Shagolites are in fact very benevolent, because she rolled a success and gained her level 3 influence. Gaining level 3 influence also means that you can buy a new resource for 1 fate die, which is exactly what she did. So now she has nurses level 1 there. They will have to be moved because you only can have 1 resource per area during the turn. In the wharf and the warehouses, this is indeed a game of wars, or it can become sooner or later. This was a bit of a mess this turn because everyone sent resources and agents to the wharf and warehouses, and then they were basically just staring at each other, daring someone to make the first move, because if we do things, everybody's going to block us. So a lot of people here are mobilizing. The Inquisition's merchant was mobilizing, went to level 3, continued to remain in the docks in an attempt to gain further there. Same thing with Vemsica's Marines. The Reavers go into a war posture, reinforcing the dock that the Reaver's daughter rests at. So went up to level 3. Goba's merchant tried to raise influence to level 2 here, which is daring when you have a merchant level 2, because you only get the 2 dice for having that merchant there, and she needed to succeed with both. Long shot. However, the Shagalites blocked that with 3 let's see now. Yeah, the agents of the Shagalites there blocked it with 3 dice. She doesn't have to use all the 4 there. They move among... So the Goba's merchant was moving the wares to the docks, looking for friendly faces and trying to smooch with them. But the Shagalites moved among the crowds at the docks, spreading rumors and doubts about the merchant intentions. These outlanders have caused nothing but trouble since they arrived. They can't be trusted. These newcomer merchants say the Digitalonga are only concerned about the smuggling, but they're openly working with pirates? How does that make any sense? And so on and so forth. And apparently these rumors spread among the people and dissuade them from having too much to do with Goba. So that conspiracy of raising influence failed. Klenora's butler mobilized as well from level 2 to level 3, continues to avail himself to the dockmaster and other persons of authority as a consultant of how to best utilize and organize their people to maximum efficiency. And finally, Lemur Spada's spies also mobilized. Everybody almost did that. To level 3 there. The spies follow the ruckus created by the recent revelations of Trakorian perfidy at the wharf, dropping eaves on the conversations of the gathered sailors and townfolks. Of course, Lemur Spada is a freedom fighter from Trinsmira. Geryon is from Palamox. We have Hightown. Hightown had some activities too. Geryon's courtiers there are trying to raise influence to level 2 and succeeded. With a little seduction and muscle, the courtiers look down the Hightown with some exquisite blackmail. Turns out the mayor likes paying people to do things to him. Shh, it's okay, nobody needs to know. And now, Goba da Grummi's spies tried to block this by... well, she used her spies then to block the courtiers, which makes it much harder for the courtiers to succeed. Geryon needed 2 successes. He was down to 1 single die at this point. Everyone has a dirty little secret, and blackmail simply begets blackmail as certain courtiers start finding their own interesting letters from Goba. However, there was also Lemur Spada's street toughs and Fundibera's prostitutes, who both came to Geryon's aid. So the courtiers are notorious users of pages and messengers, Why run your own letters, after all? The courtiers may try to act in favor of Trakoria after being blackmailed, but their own messengers are often slowed by large crowd, drawn to the soul-wrenching oratory of the Marjoran orphans, cultivated in Lowtown and protected by their big brothers and big sisters. Those few messengers that get through are too few to change the outcome. Apparently the street toughs roughed up some of those spies, and the prostitutes' help. They've been collecting the predilections of the rich and famous. Turns out, courtiers can afford the cost of some of those secrets. So, between the help from Fundemera and Lemur's Spade, the courtiers succeed in raising influence to level 2. So now, a Palamuxi freedom fighter has 2 influence over Hightown, which is interesting, because that's where all the Trakorians live. Welcome, guys! I'm just doing the game of Shadows turn here, and I'll fix the windows for you in a moment.
No worries. Sorry for
Thank
the
you.
late start.
That's
We accidentally double booked ourselves.
That's okay. We're all here now. In the garrison! Where it happened there? Lots of stuff. Yes, Vemsica used what is left of her influence to appease the spectral crowd that has begun to haunt Atlanta, the Tother da Karamax slumber. This was Vemsica raising influence to level 1, and she succeeded. And the seamstress also did this. She, after the deliciously scandalous display at the ball and the blatant attack on the Inquisition, it seemed mild heresy is in vogue. The seamstress has begun offering new designs that are a little more tasteful to give the gods a more visible presence in everyday life. The wizard also raised influence there. Not sure I have your notes on that because I didn't copy and paste it. It was ages ago. So yeah, there we go. Anyway, level 1 influence then for all the agents here. Lovely. You've made some inroads there, haven't you? We finally have the market and the sulfur camp left. The market did happen. What was that? Graphicanus. Oh yes. Ingolma's underworld traders mobilized, went from level 2 to level 3. Lots of action in the market, and it's a bit too hot to show our hand yet. However, there definitely seems to be more merchants making black market deals and getting supplies they need from unsavory sources. There's even some talk about Sinkakla becoming more available on the market. So far, people are keeping it on the down low. And finally, we had Graphicanus attacking Vemsica's contacts. The pirate finds that quite suddenly his contacts are unable to provide much information. People seem suddenly uninterested in speaking to them. And this attack from the mentalist magic succeeded, and the contacts lost 1 point of strength, went from level 2 to level 1. The final note was in the sulfur camp where the bureaucrats mobilized, the skilled administrative officials that provide support to get logistic processes and planning back on track after the initial days of confusion in the sulfur camp. And that was our Game of Shadows turn. So right now we're in a situation where well, yes, the Shagolites are still dominant because they have 2 spheres with level 3, 2 with level 2. But we've several who are starting to get level 2 here with Klenora in the Fisheries, Geryon in the Hightown, and others who are starting to make inroads here and there with levels 1. Certainly the garrison is getting more and more contested. One interesting part of this game is, of course, that once you have your level 3, you can't really stop anyone else from getting level 1, 2, and 3 if you don't have a resource there. So you can just keep building. We'll see if that happens next turn, or if the Shagolites move a resource to defend their possessions in the garrison. I have no idea how that's going to work out, but that's the point of the game. All right, I can see that my windows are all mixed up now, and I'll fix that immediately. Meanwhile, why don't Josh and Yes, since we presented Sin and Rook here before, hi, you are playing?
I'm Jessica Lapointe, and I'm playing Praanz da Kaelve. Very, very nasty Secret Service agent.
Indeed. The Dirty Harry. Isn't that what we usually say? I kind of like that label.
The Dirty Harry of the Secret Service.
Yeah.
Or Harriet, I guess.
Dirty Harriet, yes.
And I'm Josh Lapointe, and I am playing Erald de Mereld, and basically the Inquisition that's hopefully going to deal with some of these Shagalites here soon.
Yes. Root them out. Destroy them. I mean, I'm not partial. There we go. And just fixing the windows really quickly here. Sorry about that. Shan't be a sec. Maybe 3. We will start today's session because, of course, Rook and Sin were here on Sunday and did some, a little bit of a side quest, if you will.
I'm a good boy. I didn't do nothing.
I mean, what? Exactly, you didn't do nothing. We have no evidence of anything. Nothing bad happened.
I ain't left a vulgar unicorn.
Yes, you didn't even take a step outside. Ever. There's no evidence. Nobody saw you. Therefore, nothing happened.
Nobody died. That's really all that matters.
Which is actually true. Nobody did
No,
die.
no. The horse died.
Yes, the horse did die. This is a
Nobody
fair
inappropriate died.
point.
A bunch of shit goblins died.
That might also be correct. Yes.
My statement still stands. Nobody inappropriate died.
Shit goblins. I like the label there.
Yet.
Yeah. Yet. I have a feeling
haven't
that's
got my
gonna
hands
happen.
on anything yet, so.
Yeah, exactly. You haven't had the chance to draw your weapons yet. Alas and alack, and well a day. There we go. Windows fixed. Okay, we will, in fact, start, I think, with the morning of the 17th. This is sort of reversing the tape a little bit here, because, of course, we dealt with some events on the 20th for Malakai and his crew, and also a short cameo from Lady Taralese at the end of that. But on the morning of the 17th, when Erald and Praanz are leaving town to go to the Kmorda temple and visit the ice druids, if they are there or not, I don't know. Who are you bringing with you? That's my first question, because, it's ice and snow up there, and none of you are rangers.
Meanwhile, on the other side of town,
Exactly.
Praanz will find a soldier and an appropriate local guide. Somebody within the military with the appropriate skills I need. Tracking skills, hunting skills, nature skills.
Will you make use maybe of Gotthard's Reavers, the Wolfkin? I like that. There is a whole centurio of the Wolfkin up here, and they've sent away 12 earlier on that patrol, so there's still plenty left.
Yeah, if there's any left, I will absolutely take probably 2, maybe 3 of the Wolfkin, and maybe 2 actual, straight military.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's quite all right. Obviously, they're not gonna mess with you on that account. So, yes, they will go with you. And so you leave in the early morning in a company that's gonna leave you with 2 soldiers, 3 Wolfkin, 1 Balin, and the 2 of you. There we go.
That's right.
That's right. Now, I'm going to
Use
say...
muscle to push people the fuck out of my way.
Exactly. Well, you always need some of that. You haven't gotten very far away from Arhem when, the Wolfkin, I'm going to have to have a look here at the garrison, the Reavers. I'm going to roll a win check for them. They are Huntsmasters, so I can in fact add a fate die to that check, and I will out of my own pool. See how generous I am here, spending 1 on behalf of you guys.
And how many are in that pool?
12. I only have 11 left for the entire session. What if I need to use 5 on a, no, maybe not. That would be... Anyway. Yes, one of Gotthard's Reavers, who's running up ahead, comes back, almost running on all fours. These, I've described them to you before. They're dressed with leather jerkins, maybe. Some of them don't have any armor at all. They will have sometimes white vests, sometimes green or brown, and all of them are wearing rabbit fur or hair fur beret on their heads. Mostly they wear longbows or two-handed swords on their backs, or bastard swords. So one of them is coming back. There is someone up ahead, very stinky, big one, yes. Big hairless.
Excellent. We will go investigate.
Should we go around this one?
Well, I want to know what it is first.
This will be about maybe half a kilometer outside town, so you haven't really gotten very far. So as you're moving along there, in fact, Sin and Rook, if you want to play a Wolfkin and a soldier for this particular scene, I'll give you a fake die each, so you can be involved. Why not? It's a function of the game, everyone. That's what you can do.
I would be more than happy to take control of a Wolfkin.
Indeed.
Of course you would.
So yeah, there is. I'll send you another instruction there. There you go. Zoom chat. Feel free to describe in Wolfkin words.
Smell filthy, tall one. Very tall. 2, 3, you piled up. Not bathed.
Ogre, possibly? Or giant?
Sounds like it. Wasn't there... Didn't we actually meet a gentleman that from the nearby town, mountainside, mentioned giants?
Yeah, there's been
Possibly.
mentions of giants around here, yeah.
Yeah, let's give this guy a wide berth.
Okay.
So that means going out into the terrain then, I suppose, because the path is sort of...
That is up to you, Praanz. Honestly, at this point, it's your army brigade.
We'll veer west until the smell's not quite as strong.
Very well. Indeed, as it has now been pointed out by the Wolfkin, you can look in that general direction, and behind a really big rock sits... Yeah, it's a giant.
Excellent.
He's dressed he's very dirty, like stripy, lumpy gray hair and beard, dressed in basically poorly curated pelts. And on his head is the roof of an outhouse. That's his hat, apparently. He seems to be waiting for you guys behind a big rock, but he doesn't know that you've veered off from the track yet.
So is this more like a waiting for us to attack us, or waiting like maybe somebody like basically that wants to escort us to a location?
Your giant lore is maybe not very highly rated.
No.
I use some kind of military insight?
I use my insight from my machinator? Machinator?
Only when
determine
you
if
talk
he's
to
good.
him. Only when you
Oh,
talk to
okay,
him.
that's how it works. Okay. Well, friends, are we going to continue on around this rock, or do we want to go make friends with the giant?
Damn it. Player and character are conflicted. We'll avoid the giant. The mission's the most important right now.
Sounds good.
Jess totally wants to go play with the giant, but that's fine.
Very well. Thanks to the Wolfkin's sharp noses, you avoid the giant and can make your way out to the glacier, which is, of course, a long trek, I should say. You're gonna be on the road for days, in fact. And I'm gonna show you the map of the island. There we go. So, the first day, I'm gonna summarize this journey, of course, in the interest of time, if you will. The first day, you spend about half the day just walking in the valleys around Arnhem, following the river Loberan, which is quite a stinky river, but along it is a path. Can't really call it a road as such. I'm gonna assume that you guys are carrying things in backpacks, because that's really the easiest way to travel on this island, unless you have a cliff crawler, but that's going to slow you down considerably. Between the mountain peaks here and there, you can see interesting flora. It looks like almost frozen clouds, but when you get closer to those areas, you will in fact see that it's really giant white moss that is big enough to form trees, like the size of trees, that rest in many of the valleys. There are pine trees as well around here, maybe more towards the west. But eventually you do make it up onto the glacier itself. And on your second day of travel, this trip is planned to take 3 days altogether, but on the second day you're hit by a blizzard and have to stay in your tents the whole entire day, which might not be entirely surprising. You're up on the glacier after all. It's easy enough. You just stay in your tents. That's all you have to do with that. Moving on. They've changed my die roller. Okay. I can use this one instead. I just realized. GM secrets. There are some interesting fauna on this island as well, and you can in fact see them as you are moving across the ice. Really big. They look like birds from a distance, but the Wolfkin can tell you that those are actually fuzzards. They are definitely big enough to grab a child. Sizable wingspan. They're flying high up there, and since you are a group of 8 adults, I don't think they're gonna bother you too much, to be honest. They are when animals are hungry, they will go for the easy prey, let's just say. And so it is on the 20th of this month that you actually do arrive to the temple itself. I'm gonna put out some tokens there for you guys. Everything is very quiet up here. Let's see, now we have ourselves a soldier. I'm gonna give I'm gonna give you permission there to move soldiers around, Sin, if you want. And we have some of the Reavers. And I'll give Rook permission for that. I think it's owner. There we go. And there we are.
Can't see anything.
Oh, you can't? Oh, is this another case of you not having vision?
Yeah, there's like no token
Yep.
in the scene.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
correct. Okay. There you go. I'll fix that immediately because that's just annoying in the long run, isn't it? Prototype, token, vision, there. Yes, so there we are. The temple, quiet. You can see that the blizzard has, affected this area too. There are drifts of snow everywhere. And
Still no vision.
Hmm?
Still no vision.
What was that again?
Still no vision.
Oh, still no vision. Okay, sorry.
I also cannot see.
Alas, I'll fix it. I thought I had, but I was wrong. Ah, that's why. Because those tokens also did not have vision. There we go. Can you see now?
I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
Excellent.
Place with snow.
Exactly. This is a low wall running around the compound. It's about waist high. The temple itself, let me describe it. When I get to that page in my... There we go. It's sitting on the north side of this mountain, and the road up is fairly winding, but you're all people of good physical condition, so I don't think you should be too winded by now.
That may be
The-
the old man.
Exactly.
Speak for yourself there, General.
The temple is fairly simple, but well made, put together of natural stone, sturdy. There's a short stairwell that goes up to a wooden door. There's 2 window hatches that are closed. And that's about what you can see over there. There's also a tower sitting on top of a mountain to the northwest of you guys.
I am immediately going and looking for the head of the church or some kind of person.
Very well. So everyone is just moving up ahead then.
Yep.
All right. As you come up to the opening, as it were, you will notice that there was a statue right here, sitting right there, but the head of the statue has been knocked off. This statue is a person holding the hands out as if, greeting people in peace, but the head is gone. And there is a lot of symbols on the torso of this. Someone has vandalized it with scratchings, and it's been even... you don't know what kind of symbols these are, because none of you have any learning, but it's definitely a case of vandalizing the statue.
Priest, you don't recognize these?
No. However, it is a desecration of some type of statue here. Mikhail, would I be able to, between the head being chopped off and the way that everything's been proposed here, is this some type of religious symbol that otherwise would normally be worshipped?
I'm gonna say, you are, of course, the Inquisitor, but you're also a person who is not necessarily
familiar with here. Yeah.
In learning. Roll a wind check. I know I'm being cruel now. Because it's not your strength and forte.
While he's throwing dice,
yes.
Are the Wolfkin picking up anything on the wind?
That's an excellent question. Why don't you... I can lend you another one of my fate dice. Roll 3 dice. Because this is not coming from your personal pools, obviously. These are... Ooh, there we go. I have to think about this. How well does a blizzard move scent away?
Very quickly.
I would think,
winds.
Right? I'm gonna say that the Wolfkin will feel some kind of scent from the statue. There we go.
Given Praanz's tactical knowledge, does this feel like a direct attack or just teenage vandalism?
That's the question, isn't it?
Excuse me, Colonel.
Yes, soldier.
I am simple man. Is it common in religion to smear idol with shit?
Holy man?
You see Erald partially break out laughing at this werewolf's comment. No, it is not. I was trying to make sense if this was or not, but...
Yeah, you can't...
It's most definitely smeared in shit.
You can't see any such remains on the statue right now, but I have a feeling that some of that might have worked itself into various cracks and such on the statue and still smells even after the blizzard. So the Wolfkin was...
Praanz, this is definitely a new level of desecration.
Yep.
So, do any of the symbols look familiar to Erald at all? Because if I recall correctly, there was a symbol that Malak Mangus had.
Thanks, Sin.
Did you roll that die? Yes. No, that was Balan. Oh, I mean, you have no idea.
Yeah.
You don't remember such things very well.
All right, I'd like to investigate in further, but keep your weapons up.
People will, I guess.
Soldiers will salute.
Just
All
so
right,
I
Captain.
know, just so I know what direction to start moving in. Are we investigating the tower, or are we doing the proper?
Let's start with the proper. Do a once around the property, and then move into the tower after.
There is steam coming from the building, the main building.
Oh, well, if it looks like the building's inhabited, I'll move into the building first.
Hmm?
Because I am looking for people. I'm looking for injured. I'm specifically looking for the druids and what the fuck happened to them.
Yep.
So we'll move into the building first, see if we can find bodies, and then go from there.
Hopefully we don't find bodies.
Well, bodies living or dead.
Yeah, there is a door.
Praanz is a very practical woman.
I believe so. Yes. The hatches are closed. So the window hatches.
I'm guessing Praanz is a soldier that leads from the front, so she will very much move up and kick the door down.
Kick the door down.
Yeah.
Very well. Yeah, it's not locked, so you can just open the door.
I feel like Praanz will
Bang.
kick it down. Yeah.
Yep.
So she will cautiously do the, like, when you see in the movies with the cop, but she's got her swords up and very cautiously kind of moving around with the sword.
Indeed. Inside, well, it's cold. It's definitely cold in here. It hasn't been heated for a while. I can move you.
That's a
in there
concern.
if you want.
Because if anybody was living, the heat would be on. Excuse me for a moment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess torches are common in a soldier's kit.
Very well. I will light one for you. And be less stingy about the range.
Let there be light.
Let there be light. There's light. I can move the soldier in for you.
Wolfkin
Everything's-
don't have any type of low light vision, correct?
That's correct. They have a strong sense of smell, and, well, I mean... Not that it would help you in the corridors here that much. It's very quiet in here.
Erald will actually look over to Balin and say, I really don't want to die here.
Balin pulls out the
It's too damn
sword.
cold.
Balin pulls out the sword, has it on the shoulder. I'll protect you, Barú.
At that point, Erald kind of releases his normal fakeness of old man and goes into more of a prepped quarterstaff, ready to beat anything that might be walking in here that's not soldier or werewolf.
Sounds good.
Ah, there's the leader of the Inquisition I was actually expecting.
Yeah, lots of doors to investigate.
Three doors, sir. Which way?
Straightforward first, I guess. Start in the middle, work our way out.
Very good, sir. He'll step back, holding the torch out and letting her be able to take boot, apply liberally to door.
That's what she does.
Yep. Apply boot to door. Liberally.
Boot to door, sword out.
Okay. Oh. Door opens with a crash. This is a beautiful room.
I can't get through.
Oh, you can't? Oh, there we go. Now you should be able to.
There
Yeah,
we
the
go.
door just got closed accidentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's built directly against the cliff behind. So it's not a wall on that side. It's the cliff. It's the mountain
Okay.
cliff. The floor has white stone, and the walls are painted white behind thin, almost translucent, rainbow shifting sheets of cloth that are moving almost like the northern lights. From the wall, the cliff wall, there is water, crystal clear, glittering like diamonds in a cascade that is collected in a small pool that has been hewn out of the floor. The water seems to disappear as quickly as it comes in, so there must be some kind of hole down there. Inside the door, there's 2 stone benches that are turned towards this spring, and there's also a beautifully carved wooden cabinet on the right wall.
I will check the spring. I'm looking for blood or any signs of a struggle of any kind.
Mm-hmm. The cabinet is empty. The spring itself, well, it's crystal clear water. Like you do what you can touch it. You can try to drink it. You can do stuff with it. It's water. Apparently.
Holy man, do you know anything about what the spring would be used for?
Considering that it's on the inside, it's probably actually to give true fresh water without requiring to boil the outside snow. Or it's some type of religious item.
That's why I was asking you.
It's very serene here. Very relaxing. It's like all your fatigue is washed away.
Yeah, that's wrong. Praanz doesn't relax.
There is 2 kinds of paranoia in the world, folks. Total and insufficient.
Sign me up for total.
Yeah.
Yep. As soon as actually Praanz starts to feel relaxed, she's like, the water's wrong.
I don't know about that, sir. It's rather peaceful in here.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, we can go searching to see if there's anything else out around there.
Yeah, is there any kind of runes or anything carved into the water? Or like carved into the stone around the water?
No.
Or the base of it? Nothing? Okay,
Bella, do you need to fill up your water jug?
I wouldn't drink it if I were you.
No, I can do that, sir.
I would definitely maybe you take it for testing later, but I wouldn't drink it if I were you.
Does the water smell like water?
Yep, it smells like water. Smells like fresh, wonderful, nourishing water.
Water smell like water.
Yes, but the water is too relaxing.
Balon is drinking. Very fresh. Yeah, you should try, sir.
Have some after.
Fills
Let's
up
get through
more.
the rest of this.
This isn't gonna end well.
It's fine.
Okay, next room.
It
There's
looks
one over
like there's
here, he
one
says.
we missed immediately to the right, walking in.
I can't
Yeah,
see
it's
shit.
some kind of storage facility. Crates, barrels, broken pottery on the floor, and the crates have been broken into as well. Plundered.
Well, definitely signs of a struggle.
There are some barrels, though, that have not been moved. They are still heavy enough with something inside, but whatever it is either solid or frozen solid.
Can you give me a smell, gentlemen? Tell me if it's a body before I crack it open.
Would you like for me to roll?
Nah, just in the Zoom chat quickly enough.
Nobody.
Okay. I will wedge it open with my sword to check what's inside.
That would be frozen beer.
Just making sure nobody stuffed bodies in a barrel.
This is probably prudent, yeah.
Okay, we will move on to the next room. I don't care what they stole.
I'm heading this way, Erald says.
Where? Oh, okay.
I will quickly just check to see if the door is locked.
It is not.
Erald will open it with his quarterstaff.
You should really probably stay in the back, holy man.
Just in general, we're both here for separate reasons.
I understand that. I would just hate for some member of the Inquisition to get killed on my watch. I don't want to deal with the paperwork.
Likewise.
This is an interesting room as well, Erald. In here, you have, this is a fairly warm and dry area, unlike the rest of the place. There is a nice scent of incense in here. There are carpets on the floor and wooden benches to sit on. There's some kind of, almost a vine made out of copper sitting on, that's the green stuff on the right side of the wall. And on the other walls have murals of these mountainous landscapes. And those copper vines are very hot to the touch.
Some kind of sauna?
This is
Maybe,
most
yeah.
likely where they relaxed and yes.
Rested.
The fact that it's still relatively warm in here means that at least some type of
How are the
Heat.
copper vines drawing heat?
That's a good
probably from
question.
underground.
I check how they're attached to the wall to see if they're attached to like a natural spring behind them or how they're
Yeah, they run from floor to ceiling. And yeah, so they might be attached to a warm spring. Yeah, that's not a bad guess. Hot spring.
It's a nice place for us to rest here if we actually need to stay any length of time.
place to not freeze to death yet.
Yes.
Just trying to figure out if they're heated naturally or if they're being heated. Because if they're being heated, it's a sign of life. If they're heated naturally, it's a natural element of the mountain.
That sounds like a rather long philosophical debate.
On to the next one, and Erald hits the door with his quarterstaff.
Gunk.
I like to kick down the doors.
Dormitories, it seems like.
Are the beds made?
Yes, they are.
Do they look like they've been made for a while? Like, is there like a layer of dust, or are they like freshly made?
They fairly freshly made, yeah. It's not like weeks of
Disuse.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Gentlemen, if you would be so kind as to get a scent for me. Guess we need to track later.
Much blood.
Indeed. You can even see some stains still on the floor. And
Oh, that's
some of the
uncomfortable.
beds. No
Does it
bodies,
look like
though.
they were attempted to murder in their sleep?
No bodies, though.
No bodies. Okay, so they were... Either the bodies were moved. What's the blood pool like? Does it more splatter or is it pooled?
There is some pooling, but there's also like arterial spray stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Looking at the walls.
Are there any drag marks?
Who would have probably seen it in the other room?
No.
There we go now.
No drag marks.
Okay.
unless they're in the door.
These beds, by the way, are boxes, just like at young Master Hilder's tavern, that you sleep on top of a box, and in the box you have your storage.
Okay.
Cool.
Um,
Do you want to open
I'm opening. Oh yeah, I'm gonna open the boxes.
I have to
What's in the
remember.
box?
There will be mostly it's personal effects apparently. There's like a broken leather rucksack, prayer mat, someone's folded overcoat. There is papers, writing utensils, even a short sword in a scabbard.
Okay, if I don't find bodies underneath the beds, I toss it for clues.
Very well. Yeah, no, there are no bodies here.
Okay. Next door. Too many people.
That is windows.
Oh, okay.
Back this way.
I can't tell.
Yeah, you're right. You can't tell the difference on the machine necessarily. Yep, back again. Balin has the sword. Erald has the quarterstaff.
Your turn first this time, man.
All right. I can do it. Bang. Bangs open the door. This is a dining hall. Scents you asked about. The scents are much stronger inside the house, obviously, than outside, which is why I'm not having you roll for it. Because the blizzard will not have touched the scents inside this house.
Really glad I brought the wolfkin.
Secret notes passed to Wolfkin.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm not gonna lie though, I do see the appeal to wolfkin. Like, the one that I play in Forbidden Lands is one of my favorite characters. They're so much fun. So much fun.
Smell burning perfume things. Blood. Rot. Cat piss.
Incense?
Yes.
Okay. Is it normal for druids to keep cats?
Yeah, the cat piss is what throws me off.
Would they normally keep it like a temple animal? I do know of some temples who used to do that to keep rat problems down.
What does cat piss smell like?
Yep.
Why don't we have, like, everybody's kind of working here together on this. Erald has...
Am I being
everybody's... No, I'm just
No, I
letting
was talking to the guys.
Erald or Praanz can roll a win check, I'm gonna say.
No, he's just being obtuse about ammonia.
Ah.
Okay.
Wolfkin ain't gonna know what the fuck ammonia is. Know what cat piss is,
Yep.
He could. I mean, ammonia is a pretty common cleaning agent.
Yeah, ammonia, I think more Windex than cat piss.
Maybe.
So, sorry, that was win for both of us, or just one of
Yes,
us?
please. No, either.
What? I don't know what my wind is. I don't know how high it is.
I believe it's a 1, because Praanz works mostly with other things.
Can I give Josh an extra dice?
That's like helping. So if you can motivate any other blood, like using any other blood to help Erald, I'll give it to you. But I'm not sure how you would do that.
Oh, I have a noble background. I would know what a cleaning agent smells like.
That's a good point.
It is also very effective at getting rid of blood, so maybe
I'll-
even from her days in the academy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's actually bad. That's also good. Okay, I'll let you go for your fire instead then, because that's what you use to train your weapons.
Okay.
That's actually a
Fire, I've
completely
got three
legitimate
of.
way of using skills here. When something is related to the activity, you can use it for knowledge about that activity or contacts people that you know. So, like if Praanz goes to a city far away from Tresilva and wants to connect with other sword fighters, she can roll her fire to connect with people there rather than
Okay.
water. So
I will
that's a
do
thing for
fire.
everyone to know, that your abilities are not just confined to hitting things in the case of swordplay, it's also knowledge and connections, social networking in relation to that particular profession, if you will.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yes,
So that gives me 3 dice.
it does indeed. Wow! That is two sixes. That gives Erald, in fact, 3 extra dice. 1 for success and 1 for each 6. So Erald now has 4 dice for his win check as he's doing investigations.
Here we go.
That's a success, too, in fact. This is success at cost. What's the cost?
I whacked you over the head because you couldn't think of it fast enough.
Either that or maybe Erald's now like trying to take in and investigate. He gets really close to that ammonia smell, and now he can't smell anything but ammonia. While you know,
It's stuck in your
it's
nose.
just stuck in your nose. Yeah.
Do you want to see this as... Okay, so for the rest of this scene, you can't use
Yeah. For the rest of the scene, I can't use smell as a.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're putting your nose into it, and it's weird. It's like patches of something that used to be moist that has now dried up. That has left dark patches on the floor. And there are drag marks going into the next room from that stuff. But that's not all, because we have 2 successes. On the table, you can find that someone has tried to wipe off and almost succeeded, wiping off a whole bunch of scribblings in seeming weird patterns. We're talking symbols here.
Are the symbols similar to what was on the statue?
Maybe, yeah. That might be the case.
I look at.
Hard to see because it's been wiped off.
Have we walked past anywhere that had like charcoal or ash or anything?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Well, there was the
Yeah,
bedroom.
there's the fireplace in the dormitories. Yeah, that would have some ashes in it. You're right.
I look at Bella and tell him to go back to the bedrooms where the items were, and tell him to go grab the paper that was being rummaged through and come back with it.
Oh, sir.
You gonna make a rubbing?
I'm gonna damn well try. This is outside of my scope, but at least maybe we can get the pattern and see what it looks like, or even if it's partial. It's better than nothing.
Balan will do just that. He's back in a jiffy.
So I say, does it look familiar at all to him as an Inquisitor, knowing anti-creationist signs to look out for, with magic circles that you can use for bolstering castings?
Yeah, that's the thing. He's not that
I'm
kind of
not
inquisitor.
that kind of inquisitor. Surprise, surprise.
He's the kind of inquisitor that I am the kind of cop.
I guess, yeah.
I think the term you're looking for is crusader.
Yeah, Crusader is closer to what Erald
Maybe,
is.
yeah.
Or
Or-
Spanish Inquisition. Take your pick.
Less 40k Inquisitor, more Torquemada.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten into all Erald's skills yet. We have there are things he hasn't used yet.
He's been masquerading very well as an old man.
Yes.
Although I think Praanz may have picked up that he's not maybe as old as he seems.
Yeah.
that
And
depends on
putting chalk in the hair.
Are we having a roll off here? Is that it? Because you could do that if you wanted to. Just saying.
I don't think there's a need. I mean, Praanz
not
probably
at the moment.
recognizes some martial styles to him
Mhm.
because she's good at that. But I wouldn't call him on it unless I needed to.
Yep. All right. One
Grummi's
more
not
door.
stupid enough to fuck with the Inquisition. We usually, I assume, work relatively close together, parts of the Empire.
Yeah, probably.
There's also that honorary title.
That too.
There's probably bodies behind that. As he opens the door.
Yeah, I'm just stepping the soldier in so we can illuminate the room, not that he's actually stepping in that far necessarily.
Praanz just walks right in, sword drawn.
A kitchen.
This is what she does.
Yep. You know what? For being unflinching in the face of potential danger, I'm gonna give Praanz a fate die for destiny, because unflinching is what she is.
This is the kitchen.
Of course they dragged the bodies into the kitchen.
There are no bodies in here.
Please check the pantry and the meat for scent of human.
Yeah, no.
I sailed in with a cannibal pirate. Nothing's past me.
Wait. There we go.
One of the Wolfkin would stop, get low, all fours. You would physically hear and see his nose contracting as puffs of steam get blown out. Then suddenly he points with his nose directly at the kitchen cabinet under the kitchen counter.
Does he have one paw up?
Praanz opens the cabinet with the tip of her sword.
Yeah, no, this is under the counter, not the cabinet. So
Okay.
there's nothing there. But bending over a little bit, you can, in fact, see traces of dried blood on the floor, like between the stone plates on the floor, on the cracks between them.
Okay.
They've been... A lot of it has been wiped up, but there still remains there.
Once you get blood in your grout, you're never getting it out.
No, you're really not. But there's no sign of flesh in the...
No.
Anywhere else in the
there's
kitchen?
Quite normal things in the kitchen.
Obviously, cannibalism's not off the table in this game, so...
This is true.
Hey, move into the next room. Oh, we moved outside.
Right out the
Yeah.
window.
Whoops.
Erald says he'll meet you outside.
Sorry, I can't tell where things are.
Looks like
Is this it?
Yes, pretty much. Though, well, I mean, there's the steam is coming up from the side of the building. You haven't actually checked that yet.
Okay, how do I get to it?
if you go straight
walking,
right
apparently.
to where my soldier is, you can then just go straight north and out.
Oh, okay, it's coming from outside.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's another door that I will kick down.
Bang.
That's a very small room.
It is, in fact, a sauna. Very steamy.
Is there anybody else in here?
No.
Okay. Is there any more signs of struggle in here?
No, that was really it.
Okay.
Though I will allow the Wolfkin to do one more sort of sniffing around the yard, if you will, with fate die from my pool. So that's another 3 dice.
Soldiers will lean over
Thank
to
you.
each other.
Thank you. How many dice would you like me to throw, sir? 3?
3, yes.
Soldiers will lean over to each other. Are they going to stop marking up this place?
Succeed at cost. What is the cost this time? One of the Wolfkin is walking around the yard and sniffing about and manages to put their nose into the wrong drift of snow and will be nose blind for the rest of the day, much like Erald, perhaps? Is that a good cost, perhaps? Because underneath the snow is, in fact, a horrible smell of a dead body.
Walked right past them. Damn it. Alright.
I seem to have lost one of the Wolfkin.
Yeah, I put it
token.
inside there.
Okay. I guess they would start excavating the bodies.
Yes.
Yeah. It turns out that one of the bodies there's like a pit. Someone has dug a pit here.
Mass grave.
Yeah, it's not that long ago. It must be 3 or 4 days, maybe? If that. 3 days, perhaps? 3 days?
Mark the grave. Before we fully dig this up, I want to search the tower.
But the graves aren't... The bodies down there are, in fact, 2 skeletons and a half-rotten corpse that have been rotten for at least a month?
How long ago did you say the Shegalites moved in?
Oh, to the island, you mean?
I mean, took over where the druids left off. How long ago did the druids leave?
Oh, that was... yeah, about a month ago.
Fuckers.
Huh.
They went to a death trap.
Mm-hmm. Alright, I still want to do an investigation of the tower. So let's mark the grave, and we'll come dig it back up when we're done.
Well, you did have 2 successes, didn't you? There is, in fact, also a hatch buried under the snow.
Oh, great.
Oh, so someone tried to bury the hatchet.
Terrible.
Yes. Yes, that was rather terrible.
Take D4
holy
psychic
man.
damage.
Exactly.
You're welcome.
Yes, Praanz.
You want to help me kill some Shegalites?
At your service.
What's in the hatch?
What's in the hatch? It's a fairly heavy hatch, in fact. Into the ground, you will have to open it up, which is probably not too hard.
I beckon over a couple of
rather
Wolfkin and a
interesting
nice
here.
big soldier.
This hatch, so it's covered by snow now, but someone must have dug here fairly recently, because when you dug into the snow here, that's also why the wolf can notice it. Sure, buried by snow in the blizzard, but the wolf can have been on the ice a lot. And under the rest of the snow here, there is a layer of ice, but not over that hatch. And once you dig a little bit, might take half an hour or so, you get through the snow, and so the Wolfkin will know there's something in here, right? That's basically, we should check this out. The Wolfkin is digging a little bit there. And there is a hole, someone has dug through the ice there, and there is under a layer of some more dirt, there is a hatch. And that hatch has, it's heavy wood with iron bindings and 2 good rings that you could just lift it up there.
Okay. I have it lifted.
Yep.
Yep.
Will I point sword at it?
And that leads, there's a stairwell down there that leads into the darkness below.
Let's go.
Light a torch.
Praanz has the torch.
Sure.
I'm good with that. Who else
I'm
is
not
going
quite sure
down there?
where I'm going down, but
Who else is going down there?
all of us.
All of you.
At least the soldiers are following Praanz.
That
That's their boss.
The Reavers are as well.
I'm pretty sure if Praanz dies on this mission, the soldiers and the Reavers would be fucked.
Erald looks at Balan and says, I told you I really didn't want to die here, and he starts going down the stairs.
I
Don't
will
worry,
protect
sir.
you. I will protect you, he says, and moves you backwards and takes the place before you.
Excellent, excellent.
You really should be covering your rear, not your front. You've got soldiers in front of you.
I'll put
Don't
the
worry,
rest
sir.
of you down as you come down there.
Red
Right now
cloaks will
it's-
protect you.
Okay, I'm gonna have to pause there so we can put the rest of the tokens down there. We have ourselves a soldier. Didn't I put it? Did I put a soldier there? Yes, I did. And we have
We're 2
ourselves-
soldiers.
Yes, and a reaver.
Yeah,
There we
2
go.
soldiers, 3 Reavers.
Yep. Yep, they will come as well. Okay, there we go. Vision. And vision. There we go. You can see. Let there be light. So,
Praanz
yes,
is entering
you
the
are
room. What do I see?
you see the following. This is a very steep stairwell. You really can only go one person at a time here. The air is humid. It's been standing still for a long time, and it's been hacked out directly out of the rock face. Wind check from, I guess, Reaver, because they are the best with the wind here. What you see is a fairly wide hallway there, Praanz, with white walls and ceiling. The air is hot and dry. There's a strong sense of perfume here. And on both the walls, there are, on hooks, mummified human bodies. Each mummy is very dry. Almost each mummy is very, very dry. They have white painted skin, dressed in a simple tunic, and all their orifices are stitched together with string. There is 12 mummies altogether. 5 of them look a good deal fresher than the others.
How many dice did you want me to roll?
Why don't you roll 3 again? No idea.
With that perfumed scent, does that smell familiar to Praanz or Balan?
Not really, no.
It doesn't. It's not the kind of perfume that would cover the overwhelming scent of disease.
Might be. These are religious matters, perhaps.
Yeah.
Holy man, is this a normal form of burial?
Some people, if this is their resting place for their kin, yes, it's possible. This, for all intents and purposes, we're walking into their graveyard.
I take a look at the ones that are a little fresher.
Yeah, one of those is missing a head. It's sort of been stitched back onto the body, if you will. Yeah, but if you want to make a more thorough examination of these bodies, you'll have to unwrap them and so on.
I do want to investigate. Would any of my soldiers or the Reavers know what any of the druids may have looked like? Actually, better yet, can I get any of the Reavers to smell the fresher bodies and tell me if the scent matches the ones in the bedrooms?
Wow, that's not bad.
Same smell from bedroom.
These are missing druids. Is this a normal druid burial custom?
You don't know
Erald
much about druids.
Erald points to the one that aren't so fresh.
There is consistency in the method here, yes.
Okay.
Not jumping to conclusions, but whoever killed them definitely took the time to make it look like it was normal.
Including sewing on the head. Then what's in the mass grave up top? If they reburied the druids down here.
2 different sets of bodies, 2 different reasons, different decomped.
What's in the mass grave? The attackers, possibly? Or what was left of what? The druids who couldn't bury themselves?
Would be household staff, not holy men.
Maybe.
Or it could be the ones that... Or it could have been the ones that actually had already been here before, and the ones that came back up from the infirmary buried them proper, and then the ones that came back from the infirmary are now dead.
Wind for clues, I feel like. Nobody here has... What? This is interesting. This game doesn't have a criminology skill. or like investigation skill in
I
that
feel like
sense.
Praanz would be the closest, being a general.
Well, I mean, think like the detective stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, what would be the closest?
The Wolfkin are battle hardened, yes?
Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
They have seen the damage that certain weapons would do to a body.
Yes, that much. So there is, if you have the healing arts of medicine, then there is an expertise that allows you to basically do an autopsy and confirm the cause of death. But not just cause of death, but also when they died and have they been moved and so on and so forth. So that's an expertise under medicine specifically.
So if I ever play this game again, make sure I have a doctor with me.
Exactly. Otherwise, I guess there would be like a translation, I guess, of thievery for certain things, like if things have been disturbed, I guess.
Between Praanz and her soldiers, though, could we make the assumption that the arterial spray we saw would match something similar to what you would see with a beheading?
Perhaps.
I mean, I feel like Praanz has probably seen enough beheadings.
Yes, indeed. Like, obviously, you will recognize wounds from weapons, so I would allow that based on your knowledge, because you're all, as Rook says, you're all battle-hardened, or most of you are. I don't know if Erald is, but Balin definitely knows how to swing a weapon. So yeah, if you take a little bit of time there and unwrap some of the mummies and check out their bodies for wounds from weapons, that would be easy enough, and I'm not even going to have you roll for that, because they are very obvious. So I'll add an hour to your investigation then, shall I?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, so these fresher bodies, they have all been killed before their time, it looks like to you guys. I mean, it's entirely possible that they were poisoned in some fashion that you can't determine that they have been, because you don't have the alchemical materials to test for poison here. But they all have wounds from physical weapons. Most of them have their throats slit. And if they weren't poisoned before that, the wounds from having their throat slit would definitely have killed them.
Okay. I definitely want to go investigate that tower now.
Very well. We will be back up on the surface then.
Erald looks at Balan and says this was a pretty detailed job. They definitely know what they were doing.
Balan will simply agree. Gruntingly so.
They knew enough about their religion to copy the burial rites.
So,
Shagolites.
Barú Erald, are the Shagolites now anti-creationist? Can I kill them?
On site.
Yeah, then I will do that. Balan has a very thick accent from the Chalklads. Yeah, the tower.
Is the stairs icy?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, definitely been affected by the blizzard.
Okay.
Not worse than you can actually get up there, of course.
Okay.
I had so much trouble creating a door for that place. You won't believe it. It's hard to make doors on bent walls. It's supposed to be a completely circular tower, and yeah. I'll put you inside then, shall I? Because
Thank you.
yeah.
Because it keeps trying to run me into a wall.
Yeah, I've noticed as much. There you go. Everybody gets to go inside, I suppose. Once again, you find a place where the wolf can mark for blood on the floor that has seeped into, in great quantities, into the cracks between stones. Someone died a bloody death here. There is a stairwell that goes up one flight of stairs to the next level.
I will, first I'll get to see if the blood scent in here matches any of the mummies, or if it matches what we found outside.
It matches one of the mummies, yes.
Okay.
Up we go.
Just trying
Yep.
to identify where my bodies came from.
Exactly. There is, when you come up one level, you are in some kind of a lookout room, basically. It's basically a square. There's no furniture in here. There is one window in each cardinal direction.
Okay.
And there are some kind of drawing underneath each window. On the wall, there is a leather case of some kind.
The drawings that are on the cardinal directions,
Yep.
do they seem to be similar in symbolic patterns to that was the D-face, and also the partial in the eating space?
They are not. On the north side, you find a drawing that looks... It's a tower. And there is a hand pointing towards a mountain pass that looks like two horns that is put southeast of this tower.
Silly question, Mikhail.
What was that?
Sorry. This is a silly question. Do we actually have a map of this area? Like a true map that we would have on our characters? Or?
I guess you might have a map of Marjura, because I do recall Praanz talking a lot about getting all the maps before you left Trasilva. So that would be...
Just slipping over here for a second. Just wondering if any of the symbolism represents any of the plausible landmarks.
Well,
based off
north
of
would be, there's a tower on the wall there. And so, yeah, that would match the Iron Tower, perhaps. Towards the east, there is a barn, I guess, or a house painted. And in that picture, there's a human who is blowing into a horn. And some kind of scratchings of symbols next to the horn blower that you don't recognize at all.
Okay.
To the south, there is a painting of basically this temple, and there is a mark next, just where that hatch is. It has been marked on this, like a map over the temple yard. And next to the hatch, it says, "Follow the holy water to the mouth of the dragon. 2 crosses of the sun, turned, marks the road."
I'll get Balin to write basically that down on his piece of paper previously from the other partial symbol.
Yep.
And then I'll take the leather thing actually off of the wall.
Yep. The
And
west
open it up.
window has an obelisk. That's it. That's what you have in the tower. The leather case contains a spyglass. It's a looking glass, but one of the lenses are a bit cracked.
Yep. Definitely will be pocketing that.
Very well.
My understanding then is the windows are marked with areas to just keep watch of.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Easy way to test that.
Take a look.
Yeah. At that point, I open up the leather satchel and pass her the partially broken spyglass.
Mm-hmm.
I will attempt to use it as is for the moment. 'Cause I wouldn't know how to fix that.
Yeah, no, you can look out there. You get a fairly, because of the crack in one of the lenses there, fairly vague image of things. But yes, there's... if we go back to the Marjura map, there is mountains in the north, hazy something in the west, and another mountainous massive in the east.
So they saw this attack coming then.
They could have.
Or it was well enough disguised that they let them in.
Yep.
Do Praanz and Erald know where the dig site is?
I think Praanz has been told of it.
Erald has been told of it. Briar talked about such things all the time on the boat.
Yep.
Is the obelisk cardinal direction to the west pointing directly at dig site?
Yep.
What does Praanz see when she looks in that direction?
Mists. Beyond the glacier, mists and mountains.
Okay.
Since some of my squadron were sent to the dig site, would the 3 Wolfkin present be aware that that's kind of indicating in that very general direction?
I think any traces... What? Yes, I think... Yeah, well, they were technically sent after the archaeological expedition. You're assuming that the archaeological expedition went to the dig site, which is a reasonable assumption to make. But yes, that would be there, yes. I think your readers would know this, yes.
I'm well aware of the fact I have shitty intel. I am doing the best I can with shitty intel.
Awesomeness, yes.
That direction is dig site. Rest of pack sent to.
Well, we should go there next.
Dig site across sea. Many days journey past Autumn.
Should go back to Aram and let them know of the murder that occurred here.
I agree.
It would be about 2 days to get, so you can choose if you want to go to the dig site, that's going to be 2 days. If you want to go to Arham, that's 2 days.
No, we need to go back to Aram first and regroup.
Yeah. It's the same distance either way.
Yeah.
You can, in fact, if you want to strike out immediately to return, by now it's noon. I'm going to say that it's taken you like half a day to investigate this. So you would, if you leave immediately, you will get there sooner than if you leave in the morning, obviously. Duh.
I would like to leave immediately, and I would like to probably, once I get things under control in Aram, go to the dig site with the battalion.
Excellent. Now, we will, for the moment, leave Erald and Praanz up on the mountain, as they will make their way back, because it's going to take you 2 days to get there. You'll be back on... provided you don't get hit by another blizzard. So you'll get back to Arham on the 22nd of Misiska at the earliest. And see what's going on in actual Arham, because... meanwhile, this is one of those meanwhile things. It's gonna be... It was the night between the 20th and the 21st, wasn't it? When a certain Captain Malakai was doing things.
Lies and scandalous allegations.
Lies and scandalous allegations. I will make the allegations and not regret it one bit. Scattered clouds today, isn't that nice? You will be returning towards Arham with your, profits? Yes, profits from, entrepreneurial activities. How about that? Yes? Profits from entrepreneurial activities. In the name of Castique, this is a holy deed, is it not? Just agree with me.
Okay. I was trying to remember what Castique was the goddess of.
Profits.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm more of a wind and water guy.
Yeah, she's the one with the apparently 8 legs, 4 arms.
Yeah, 6 arms and 6 legs, yes. That's correct.
Got to snatch all them profits.
Yes. All the profits that we can possibly get. And Lady Taralese, you have, of course, had a long night. The event that shook the town, if I put it that way, I think it probably kept you up the rest of the night, or did it? Decide what Lady Taralese did after that moment. When the procurator lost his horse.
I stand by my comment. That horse was not combat trained. He didn't fight back a damn bit.
She probably would have worked to move quickly, knowing about another horse that came with the envoy.
Indeed. I sense that you will want to do some intriguey stuff and get that horse to you. Is that what we want to do? This is not too difficult for you to do. Just roll your water and possibly add a fate die for Machinator, and let's see what happens. Alternatively, you can use, other means, like commanding people with Eldritch Sorcery, though that might be a bit more risky because...
Trying to stay under the radar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, trying to stay under the radar, especially after certain revelations. One moment.
Yep. How does Malakai get past the patrols on the road back? How about that? Okay, think on that, Rook.
Oh, jeez, on the hellhounds.
Sorry about that.
Anyway, no, she is not going to try and expose herself that way.
Indeed. So, some
Hey!
machinating. Wow! Wow. Wow. Yeah. You have no problem at all with this. Describe the scene when Lady Taralese, in the middle of the chaos, swoops in and does the thing. Because right now everybody's screaming, there's panic, there's crying, there is mothers looking for their children, there is soldiers manning the ballistas, there are commands being shouted, to arms, alarm bells going off, everything is chaos.
Yes, she is definitely taking advantage of the chaos to simply dragging her servant, her manservant along with her, going down immediately towards the docks and towards the ship that they originally came on. She will actually stop and go and grab her butler and have him, if there's anyone that he's begun to get any kind of command over, help her with being able to secure the horse and get it moved off of that ship.
Yes, well, he doesn't have influence yet, so, but you do have influence with the garrison, enough to get you some piece of information about something. So, are we using this maybe because it's once per session, so we might as well use it to locate the horse and the people who have control over the horse. How about that?
Yep.
Seems like a good use for that influence. So yes, you will get the name of the caravel in question. I don't think it's actually on the Wave Dancer. I think it was put on another ship because the archaeological expedition took up so much space on the Wave Dancer that they just put the horse somewhere else on something that was bringing other livestock, more live animals than the Wave Dancer did. So you will be able to locate that. Someone will row you out there in just because you are noble, right? You obey nobles. Soldiers are good soldiers. Here's a noble woman. She has orders for us. And possibly with the judicial use of well-chosen Paratornian insults, Lady Taralese soon finds herself on the deck of that said caravel with a captain who is in a state of complete panic because there was literal fire swooping over the water yards away from the ship, and everything is being doused with water just in case.
No. Where is the horse at?
On deck, and it is in fact standing on deck. It was supposed to come right after the procurators. You understand? We had to out our orders. Is this your horse, ma'am? My lady,
Of course it's my horse. I see the cat has got your tongue, but I want my horse.
Of course it's your horse. It looks like your horse. You have the same faces. Let's go. He's Paratornian.
Oh, I don't know about that. My hair is so much better.
He's Paratornian. He has to. The captain starts yelling at some sailors and get them to rig a rope and tackle and a proper harness and get the horse down into the longboat. The horse is not going to be terribly comfortable with any of this, but it will be done. Which means that you will find yourself on a horse with a longboat with a horse in it. and some sailors going back to shore with you. I'm going to say it's going to take you a good hour or so to get all this arranged, but, I mean, the chaos in the town is still the chaos in the town, so...
Yeah, I mean, who cares? The water's on fire.
Exactly. Nobody even notices that the horse is with you as you arrive to shore early in the morning, as the sun is actually coming up now, because it's April in the far north.
Mm-hmm. So I guess knowing that, she is going to, I'd assume she's been shown where the stable is, as in, oh, and this is where my horse will be once it arrives.
Yes, indeed. All that
So
politicking has paid off.
Yes, she is going to very quickly move to get the horse situated in a more comfortable place for now.
And so, that will happen. Meanwhile, I was asking Rook
How
about...
you doing?
Yes, about how you're gonna get your, stuff...
You have painted such an amazing picture. I almost smell it. Buildings and small ships burning. This is kind of a backwoods garrison. These aren't the cream of the crop. You know it. Shit's on fire. Women are throwing their babies in the air. I want you to honestly tell me there is not enough chaos that I can't just roll right through the front gates.
Of the garrison, you mean? Like
No, out of the garrison.
I'm
getting into
town?
the city.
Into the
I'm
town?
getting back to the vulgar unicorn, going away from the docks.
I'm gonna say... There's going to be a patrol going towards the mines in question. Like, the Procurator has enough sense, I think. Or does he? I'm gonna roll for the Procurator.
Hold up. You do know Malakai is familiar enough with heist movies. He would not use the road directly from the mines to get back home.
That seems reasonable to me.
Thank you for agreeing. Yeah, let's see how stupid the Procurator is.
Probably so aghast and aggrieved. Yep.
God damn it.
They help me unload the cart, don't they?
Apparently, he is not on his best today. Also, one has to consider that he got like 2 points of fear and is... Yeah, it'll take... with that wind roll, it will take them a while to coordinate the response. Which means that, yes, Malakai does get his hoard of profits from entrepreneurial endeavors safely.
May I remind, it is a cart being drawn by a milk cow.
Yes, it is. Or I guess you take covered up with a bunch of bales of hay or such like.
Yes.
Found by whatever farms that you pass by on the outskirts.
I think I can afford to buy a couple bales of hay from some dudes.
You might be able to, yes. Cleverly hidden. You get back to the unicorn, as it were. And, I mean, the scene that Malakai sees when he returns... I will correct you on one thing. Houses and structures are not burning. What is burning are some fishing boats. In fact, Lady Taralese, who was there, the damages to the village are surprisingly small. Most of the damages came actually from the shockwave as that giant creature passed by you and flapped with the wings right over town at very, very high speed. It must be diving from very high altitude and then wham over, and several windows were just absolutely bashed by just the wind pressure from this thing. But in terms of harm, a lot of people have blood from their ears, from burst eardrums. A lot of people are shocked. Some people have scorch marks here and there, but remarkably few wounds and damages. There are almost more people who were hurt by other people trampling them than by fire damage. and
Holy
no
shit.
buildings.
Is the private party marking still up on the Vulgar Unicorn?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, Sin, I stepped all over you.
No. Yeah, Taralese is ignoring all of that. She is a woman on a mission.
Malakai himself is currently more concerned with, I guess, setting up block and tackle to quickly move everything into the unicorn?
Very likely, yes. Scurrying about, working hard on that in the morning. As Malakai is doing this, there will be an interesting appearance, if you will. You haven't seen Malik for a while up there, but and Praanz is not currently in town, nor is Balan or Erald. They are away, so I've removed their tokens. But you will, in fact, meet someone this morning, Lady Taralese. What do you do after you put the horse in the stable? Which is gonna... I mean, there's a horse in the stable that was supposed to be the procurator's horse's stable, and now you have this shaggy old mare of some kind. It's definitely not a high... It's a workhorse. It's like, you know, with like big hooves and stuff, like a farming animal that is used to pulling carts or wagons of some kind. This is a strong beast, but definitely not the type of absolutely beautiful and magnificent animal that no one will ever see again because it was carried away in the clutches of that thing.
I mean, it's a horse. It's her horse.
It is a horse.
She is the first one to have a horse in Aram.
The stable hand who have been shipped here from Trakoria to take care of the combat train horse is standing there looking at the horse and going, "What?"
Don't worry, it just needs a little bit of brushing, a little bit of oil in its coat. It'll be right as rain. Maybe polish its hooves. I trust you'll do it. And she'll pat him on the shoulder and walk out. Just leave him gaping.
Yeah. And
Only the
then,
best
like,
oats, of course.
noble woman told me to do this, so I guess that's what I'm gonna do now, is starts taking care of not at all the horse you thought. Ah, dear. That is hilarious. Yeah. Having done this, is it time for breakfast?
Very much so. Definitely lots of mocha. All the mocha.
All the mocha. As you are having breakfast,
Although I will note, she is keeping an eye out still for Nin, since she still hasn't reappeared.
funny you should say that, because who comes in for breakfast if not Nin?
Nin, darling, where were you last night?
She looks... No, again, this is now the 21st, so she's been gone for 4 days.
You've been missed. Where did you go to exactly?
She's kind of moving towards... I trust you can hold the confidence. She looks a bit sweaty, and her clothes are all disheveled. In fact, a bit torn, even. I've had the most remarkable journey. I have found irrefutable proof, in fact. Oh, yes.
How about we take breakfast in my apartments?
Yes,
Get you cleaned up.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Then she'll kind of call a servant over and tell them take breakfast into her apartments and just start guiding Nin towards.
Yep.
So, dear, what is it? And once they're alone, so, dear, what exactly is it you wanted to say that you saw?
Well, She has a folder that she has kept under a cloak, if you will. I am now positive that the Kmorda druids were behind the weapon smuggling. I gained access to some very interesting pieces on this. And she brings out some letters.
Taralese will take them and begin looking them over.
These are notes that I've made. You see, I had the chance that I was invited to the Iron Tower, you understand. And there I found irrefutable evidence for the Kmorda druids' involvement. It's even worse than that. The Lady Taralese is in on it somehow.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me. You're all a bunch of shady fuckers.
Well, in this case, the shady fucker in question is Praanz. She's going to kill me if she finds out this.
And what makes you say that?
Well, since I uncovered this doesn't fit the narrative. She wants to create a particular blame game here to point fingers. It's all about the control over the sulfur. It's all about the control over the colony. So she wants to be able to point the finger the right way.
Sure. Who doesn't? It's a very lucrative and powerful position to be in.
Exactly. And I think behind it all is Jalsop da Kamesti, the richest duke in the realm. I know for a fact that Duke Jalsop is very, very close to Director Goba da Grummi. I think the two of them have cooked up all of this just to take over the sulfur trade. Together
That's a
with the
possibility. With the druids.
Yes. Well, they need to have a patsy that could look like someone who could organize a rebellion here.
True, but why the druids? Why not the Palamuxians? Why not any of them?
The Palamuxians don't live here. The druids live here. They know everyone, and people here respect them. It makes sense. They are authorities, spiritual leaders. They can draw on that. If the spiritual leader says it's time for a revolt against the Empire, then why wouldn't the local Marjorans join? I saw, these were notes, evidence, passed between the Kmorda druid in Tresilva and Molbrock, who we know is Jalsop da Kamesti.
Quick point of order, since she was on the ship with the druidess.
Yep.
And she had mentioned, did she say the name? I can't immediately recall.
Parima, yeah. That's...
Parima, but her mentor, whom had disappeared there in Tresilva.
Tresilva, yes.
Tresilva.
Did she say the name of the mentor? I can't recall that off the top of my head. She must
I know
have at
she
some
spoke
point.
of him openly, though.
It was a woman, and I.
Oh, okay.
I need.
Regardless, a mentor that would have been the connection there in Tresilva.
Yep.
Do you have those letters with you?
Yes, of course.
And this was at the Iron Tower, not at the, say, the Druid's Temple?
No, exactly. Yes.
You found these letters at the Iron Tower.
The Shaglites have many friends around in Arham. I think they might have absconded with something from the shrine, the Komorda shrine.
And why would they do that? They are
loyal,
also holy men, supposedly.
They're loyal servants of the Empire, I suppose. Harkaton is an advisor to the Empress herself. If it makes sense, if this is a plot to make Yalsop Takamesti, who is the greatest rival of the throne, more powerful, then why wouldn't the Shaglites, who are allies of the Empress, want to stop Yalsop from doing that?
Unless they want to use him as a scapegoat for their own machinations, considering they have a spot, or rather the ear, of the Imperials.
No, I'm sure this is bona fide.
Press X to doubt.
Is this a roll then, I guess?
I guess it is.
Yeah, she's also pretty good at this. Let's see now, I've rolled... I think I have a fate die left at least. So... I can roll my 3 dice, and you will roll your 3 if you use a fate die? I suppose? Right?
Yeah? Would she be able to use wind, just kind of working out the logic of it with her own familiarity with the politics of court?
You know what? I'll allow it. You're
Not
not
to
trying to
mention
convince
personal
her.
knowledge of prawns.
Yeah, you're
Well,
not trying...
Praanz, and of at least a druid who, cinnamon roll is still not enough to describe just how innocent she at least definitely came off as.
I do have a question.
Yep.
Some mechanics that may be involved in this situation. I believe Sin and Lady Taralese and Praanz have a connection, relationship point, maybe. Could you use that in a contested role such as this because you do have such an intimate knowledge
You know what?
of the other person?
Yeah, it's
You
making
can. Yes, you can.
Nin's trying to make you doubt my character.
Yes, you can. Very well, Rook. Now, you do have a relationship point with Nin as well, so you can add that one too, I suppose. Usually
So
I
if
wouldn't
I use
add
a-
both, but yes.
Fate die, that's 6d6 then?
Yes, it is.
Using my wind? Okay.
Now, she's trying to convince you, and you are not trying to convince her, so that's why I'm giving you the wind instead. If you're trying to convince her, that's water. But,
Yeah, no, she's pretty much just letting her talk.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, no.
that was so many successes. Where do I even start with this? I mean, it's a plausible story. You'll have to give her that. It's definitely a plausible story. But,
Bronze is too dumb to be that mechanite.
I mean, that's one thing.
Same thing with the druids.
Another thing is, just, you've spoken so much to Parima on the ship, and there's just no way you would believe that naive little girl who was so open with everything. Like, I mean, at the oldest, she's 18 or something. Like, she's young. She is definitely not... she's still definitely wet behind the ears. For her to be a manipulator on that level, like, you just can't see it after having spent weeks on a ship with her. Also, I mean, you know your way around mentalist magic there, Lady Taralese. And if any of the Shaglites have insights into that sort of thing, and have held her for 4 days, there is absolutely no limit to the amount of shenanigans they could have done in her brain. She believes this plot fully. She's not trying to trick you. She believes this from the bottom of her heart. Nin does. But that doesn't mean that she has been, you know... She could very well have been molded by the Shagalites while she was there.
Unfortunately, I think that we have reached the time when we need to put Nin out of her misery.
No. We just need to find a nice, quiet, safe place to put her where she can't harm others or herself.
Until Praanz gets her hands on her.
A grave.
No, Praanz. Down. Down, girl.
We can totally fix her head.
If nothing else, I'd appreciate having a new secretary. She is going to get her fed, dressed, bathed, cleaned up in general. Nin is still a friend, even if she's not the most reliable of friends at the moment.
Maybe you can fix her brain later.
Yeah, pretty much.
Callisto will help.
Actually, yes. After she gets her settled, she's going to leave Nin in her apartments and then go and try and find Callisto.
Yep, that's the Reaver's daughter. Well, it's not, because Callisto's been away overnight. Well, no, she's down by the unicorn now, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Got this. Sen, do you approach one of the boys in blue war paint, or do you go specifically check somewhere?
She'll start walking. She'd probably start walking towards the Reaver's daughter until she happens to walk into one of the Pictish, and then ask them.
I'll do you one better. You run into Kakiba on the dock, pointing and laughing at the remains of burning fishing boats. Kakiba's kind of a dick.
Dog. Where is Callisto?
Lady Taralese. Callisto and Malakai are currently at a private party at the Unicorn.
Now, is this a private party or a private party?
Dorman will let you in.
I don't care. I just want to know so I can approach it appropriately.
He rented a building. Things happen. You'll understand.
Yes, I understand things happened. And she's just staring at Kakiba.
Kakiba was on boat all night. Malakai, Callisto, they were at the whorehouse all night.
I will happily roll a water check on that.
Yeah, Kakiba's water is probably not very high, is it?
I'll just roll one dice.
Yeah. If you want to use your machinator again. Taralese, you... Ah, there's just failures everywhere.
I had to balance out at some point.
Yeah.
You think that Kakiba thinks what he is saying is correct. You also have a relationship with Mal. You know the one rule of the ship. Don't tell Kakiba anything fucking important.
So she'll kind of, still staring at him, not getting a good read off of the non-human face, and go off to the vulgar unicorn.
Indeed.
Upon arriving, there would be like a big sash tied across the front door to indicate private party, but the doormen look very familiar to you.
I will say, Rook, that Malakai and his entire crew have a point of exhaustion, one more, for working all night, and, you haven't slept, so...
Hence the reason nobody's leaving the fucking unicorn.
Yep. Yeah. Set the scene, Rook. This you and your crew.
You would be ushered into the room, which you were very familiar with the office. You would come in. You would see Callisto half unconscious on the bed. The giant raven Nicodemus somewhere in the rafters, and Malakai looking at shit through a jeweler's loop. Evening, Lady Taralese. How can I help you?
I need Callisto. And you wouldn't happen to know anything about the events last night, would you?
Yeah, big fuck old dragon came flying out of a fucking mine with some fucker riding his back. Well, I can't say some fucker. Oren's actually a very dear friend of mine. One of my very dear friends was riding on his fucking back.
Oh, wonderful. I'd recommend keeping that to yourself.
Oh, shit. Love, oh, sweet angel of the morning. Lady Taralese, I'd like to speak to you. To which Callisto would rise.
Maybe we want to give Callisto to, I don't know, Jess or Josh for the moment?
Yes!
Sure.
Malakai?
You've seen the Pirates of the Caribbean films, yes?
Yes. Yes, I have.
You remember the Sea Witch?
Yes.
There
I don't
you
know
go.
if I can do that accent very well, but...
Don't worry about accent. Just that image in your head.
Oh, yes, my lady.
You're
What are you
tired.
like?
You're like really, really tired.
Well, you look like you could use a relaxing spa day.
It was a long night.
Very long night.
Bah.
Yes, bathing, getting hair and nails done. It's a wonderful, relaxing thing. Maybe a massage.
She
look like you could
knows
use-
who I am, right?
Come, it's a wonderful treat. I'm sure Malakai will make you more familiar with it now that you appear to have quite a few earnings.
What do you actually need from me?
What I need is help on fixing someone who's been broken.
Ah,
And I know you and I have the same predilections when it comes to working our magic.
how badly broken are they?
Let's see. She believes that Praanz is capable of double-handed work in order to have actually been the one supplying the weapons that she's been searching for everywhere, and that the druids are actually conniving masterminds of some kind.
That's the same general, the one that stabs first and asks questions later.
Precisely.
Hmm.
Don't get me wrong. There's probably some truth to some of what she had to say, but it's certainly been twisted in the Shagalites' favor.
Oh. I see. Yeah, I could probably do something about that. I assume you two will work out whatever else needs to be worked out later.
At this time, Malakai would actually start paying attention to the two women for a brief moment, would simply throw two necklaces at them, turn back, and return to what he was doing.
Okay.
Taralese will pick him up.
It's a very nice necklace. This is worth a pretty penny. Gold, silver, some rubies in it, maybe?
We'll say one is a nice serpentine silver chain, platinum fixing, maybe 6-claw, princess cut, kind of a light blue sapphire, very slightly included, maybe about a C on the color scale, and a flashier gold one with a ruby of about the same equivalences.
I'm sure my seamstress can do something with these. Just tuck them away into a satchel purse.
Let's go fix your lady.
Yes, let's.
As
Would
you,
y'all like to have this? Sorry.
No,
Would
go
y'all
ahead.
like to have this as a bonding experience between the two characters, or would you like Malakai to come with you?
Oh, I don't care.
Malakai's pretty fucking useless right now.
yeah.
He's been drinking, he's been smoking, he's got like 6 levels of exhaustion. He's running on pure willpower.
Given what you've said about your girl, she'll probably just tell you to go the fuck back to sleep.
Is this
Exactly.
Malakai engaging in gluttonous hedonism?
My office is in a whorehouse. I smoke a lot of opium. I drink a lot of booze. I'm sitting on a small mountain of coin. I will let you draw that.
You've also
You,
gotten drunk enough to be useless.
Yes.
I've also gotten drunk enough to be useless.
Yes, so you gain yourself another fate die for your bane there, Malakai. For incapacitating yourself with drunken revelry. Callisto and Taralese will head back to the garrison, and as you do, you're passing by the market. And, you can hear snatches of conversations. Someone is standing there. It's one of the Trakorians. But I heard, and he's bartering for, fuzzard vest. Fuzzard leather vest. Oh, but I heard it was actually the Digitalonga that burned down the Shakello house. Yes. Well, I think they're sabotaging the traders. You know, when the big boys start fighting each other, it's all about who gets to grub the money, right? But I wonder if anyone is safe if this is gonna happen, you know?
Callisto will stop long enough to pick up a little hair of the dog to help with their hangover.
Yep, there's...
Oh, go ahead.
No, young Master Hilders will accommodate that, for sure.
I guess as they're walking through the market, is this near where the Moggers have kind of set up shop?
The Moggers are right across from young Master Hilders. Number 3 on the map, in fact.
Okay. Well, I also meant, like, the people talking about it being potentially the Digitalonga, having set fire to the Shakello house.
They were talking about that somewhere around the tavern.
Okay. And she'll kind of, yes, I think a drink might be good right now. Maybe sit down and take in the gossip a little bit.
Oh, we're going to the tavern, are we?
Yeah, I need something to cure this hangover. Either something with caffeine or something to get me drunk again.
Erald is definitely not there. I have to fix the scene here. Let's see now. Erald is not there. That much is definitely the case. And Balin is not there. And no soldiers are here on leave at the moment. There are some locals, perhaps. I'm going to say it's uncommonly empty, though there's going to be some sailors and some people who are being treated in the beds for various ailments related to the night's horrifying incident. And Hilder, yeah. Now that there are guests here, I guess the Jester will try to do some jumps and stuff. Oh, I need to fix. Great. Okay, Callisto. There we
Now
go.
both
Now you can
Jessica and
see.
Sin have seen that character sheet. I still have not yet.
Oh, okay. Yep, you're in the tavern. The young girl Meriti will ask what you might want on this nice morning. She looks a bit scared and shocked, to be honest, as well.
Whatever you have, that's just a nice breakfast drink. And maybe get one for yourself. You look like you need something to calm your nerves. Otherwise, you might jump out of your own skin.
Well, it was a dragon, she says. A dragon! Can you understand it? The dragon came. I'm so worried if someone is hurt, you know?
Well, there's no use worrying unless you can actually help them with it.
Oh, I
You worried
suppose
about
that
someone
is true
specific?
enough. What was that?
I said, are you worried about someone specific?
Oh, just everyone. We hear, however, that not many people were hurt, thank the gods and thank Kmorda. So maybe it was no problem after all.
See,
What if the-
precisely.
What if the dragon comes back?
Oh, I don't know about that. It didn't seem to show up until the nice shiny horse showed up.
We haven't seen... Well, sometimes you can see the dragon flying far away, but never over town like that. I hope it doesn't come back. She is clearly, bereft and worried.
Come, join us, sit down. Have a drink. Just one.
I suppose it cannot hurt, she says and sits down.
See, there we go. Not so bad, right? Right, Callisto?
Tell me all about yourself, darling.
Oh, my name is Miriti, but I think you knew that already. I am, Hildur is my father.
Any siblings? Any lovers?
She looks very blushful. No, I'm not allowed such things. I'm not old enough yet. She's, what, 17, 16, something like that? Maybe 18?
Oh, please, like that stopped any young girl with hormones.
I
Certainly never stopped me.
have my older brother is very good at taking care of me when needed.
Oh, now that doesn't sound like any fun. He sounds like such a worrywart.
No, Rurik is a good man. He works hard. He works hard out at the farm.
What was that name again? Rurik?
Rurik, yeah.
Oh, and who's Rurik?
He's my older brother.
Oh, is he? Well, how is he protecting you if he's out there?
Oh, he comes here regularly. Helps out particularly now when it's so busy with the convoy. But then she has this little glittery look at you guys, particularly you, Lady Taralese, because you are a lady. But you come from out in the big world.
Yes, I do, darling. You're such a small mouse. You'd get eaten alive.
Oh, will I? But, what if I want to go out into the big world?
Oh, well, darling, that's why you look for the right people and make the right friends.
Oh, who would be the right friends?
I don't know. I seem to rather like you. Maybe I could help you. Where exactly are you wanting to go?
Oh.
As I
At least
said,
I would have given a chuckle about the eaten alive bit.
I believe you. Oh, anywhere. I hear that there is a lot of people on Paratorna, and that the capital is a very, very big city. I've never seen a big city. I mean, Arnhem is a big city, I suppose.
Oh, darling. Arnhem is not a big city.
Is
My
it
estates
not?
are bigger than Arnhem.
Oh. Well, I cannot imagine. You can see
Well, but-
she's dreamy enough in her eyes right now that she's all the dreams of romantic adventures across the seas are playing out in just on the inside of her eyes, if you will.
Callisto will lean into Lady Taralese. Do you really need another maid?
Do you need another maid?
That was whispered.
Oh.
She is a barmaid, though, so she's probably used to listening into conversations like that.
Well, that could make her useful.
And you can never go wrong with your own personal bartender.
This is also true.
I don't know. I could certainly be open to a trial. Maybe start teaching you some ways so you wouldn't be so prone to sudden death, potentially. I mean, Paratorna is a rather vicious place. But don't worry, if you have the right people by your side, it's not so bad.
But the Trakorians are always saying how civilized it is. I would like to see a civilized place.
Oh, darling. It certainly is much more sophisticated than this place.
Depends on your definition of civil.
There is that, though.
I would like to see a sophisticated place. Sophie.
Sophisticated.
So
Apparently, you're going to have to work on her vocabulary, too.
That's okay.
Please.
Do you know your letters?
No.
Have to start from a very basic level. Tell me, what skills do you have? What skills do you and your family have?
I'm good at working at in a tavern like this, and taking care of animals.
You mentioned that. You said you have a farm?
Well, our family has a farm. Well, not really our family as such. We have this tavern, but if you think of outside, my immediate family, like cousins and uncles and so on.
You mentioned your brother, and you said that it's outside of town? I've heard there's so many dangers outside of town.
Oh, only fuzzards, really. My uncle, so my mother's brother, has a yard north of our home.
What exactly do you raise out there?
Oh, sheep mostly. Some pigs as well.
What do you do to discourage the fuzzards?
Well, you have to have a bow and arrow or a crossbow.
So where do you get the feathers from?
Oh, we have chickens. And other birds around, I suppose. I'm not much of a Fletcher myself. You will have to ask the Fletchers.
Is your shot worth a salt?
My shot? No. I don't use weapons. But there are others. I'm not much of a hunter, but you should meet Uncle Guster. He's an excellent shot with a crossbow, but he's not here right now. He apparently went to go hunting for fuzzards.
So what do you do when he's not there?
Oh, but Rurik can handle such things. I don't go out to the farm often. I must stay here and work in the tavern.
Well, a crossbow could work against a handsy patron, too.
If I don't go to the big city as a maid, of course.
How about we start off with the trial? Once you're done with your shift tonight, why don't you come up to the garrison?
Yes, I can do that. Don't tell my father. I don't think he would let me.
And she'll kind of look back, seeing that he kind of disappeared into a back room. Don't worry, dear. It'll be a secret between the two of us. But why would your father be so upset? I mean, surely he wants to see his lovely little bird spread her wings.
No, I don't think he would want me to leave at all.
Why is that?
No, because this is our home. Whenever I talk about it, he just kind of scoffs at me.
Oh, that's just a father thing. I wouldn't worry too much about that. They all do that.
If anything, I'd say that means that he's been out and had his own adventures. And he wants to keep you from it, you poor dear.
Oh, he was a great warrior once, but he doesn't like to speak about it.
A great warrior.
Yes.
Here in Arnhem.
Well, this was before I was born, you see. During the rebellion, before when the Trakorians came to occupy the island.
Interesting. So, and he started this tavern after that, then?
Yes, yes. Now he is, well, he's not officially the village elder, but everybody listens to him.
Is that so?
Oh, yes. He's a very important man.
Well, I would certainly think he would appreciate his daughter being given an opportunity to elevate her own position.
Well, we'll be careful anyway.
Oh, don't worry, dear. You'll learn to become much more gold. You'll have to.
She will definitely be sneaking to the castle tonight. You can bet that.
Trial by fire, as they say.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Oh, misleading the
anything-
young, are we?
If anything, we have a babysitter for Nin.
Exactly. Was there anything else you wanted to do by the tavern?
No. Not at this time. Not unless there's anything Callisto would want to do.
No, as long as she got her drink, she's fine.
Yeah, she does get her drink. I am not going to remove exhaustion from Callisto yet. She needs like a scene of rest somewhere. So if you
Yeah,
want to
just-
do your spell thing, I will say that, I mean, she can take other kinds of damage, I guess, if things backfire. We'll see.
Okay.
But if she takes one more point of exhaustion, she's done, right? That's...
Malakai's gonna have to come pick her up off the floor.
Yep.
Okay.
I will allow you to use my remaining fate dice for her magic weaving, which is actually quite a lot. So that's
Okay.
She'll have 5
Quick
dice.
question.
And Taralese will be helping her.
Yes.
Quick question.
Yep.
Would Callisto... Malakai has relationship level with Taralese. Does that migrate to Callisto or no?
No.
Okay.
Let's see now. We are gonna do some collaboration here. Okay. You will basically spend an entire scene on doing this weaving because you're working together. Is Callisto taking the lead on this, or is it in fact Taralese who takes the lead?
The lady knows Nin better, so I would probably let her take the lead.
Yeah, and seeing Callisto's current state.
All right. Yeah, that's a good point. And Callisto's current state is not good. So I'll do like this then. You get your wind, of course, because you always get that. And then we spend a fate die for your mentalism. Are you spending another fate die to keep it hidden from terrible eyes?
Yes.
And then I will add 2 more dice for Callisto and Ritual altogether.
Okay, so
that's 3, 4,
that's 8.
5, 6, and you know Nin. How well do you know Nin?
I mean, they had at least, what was that, a month and a half?
Yeah.
That they were stuck on a ship together with nothing better to do.
I
Right?
think we said before at least 1 point of relationship.
Yeah. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep.
All right.
Hoo-hoo-hoo.
Over there.
Yeah. Now it is a power level 1 spell you're doing here because you're taking the lead, and you're still a novice in the arts, as it were. But Callisto's help is obviously very useful for you. With 2 6s, you do not get either mishap or backlash for doing anti-creationist stuff. And your power level is now a 3. So what are we doing here?
Callisto says, no, wave your hand this way, not that way.
Exactly. You're trying to untangle something, I guess.
Correct. She is trying to do, I guess she's kind of trying to recreate Inception, the movie,
Yes.
with trying to dive into her memories, figure out what ones are which ones are more clear, like what she actually found at the Iron Tower or was shown at the Iron Tower versus what was probably a little bit more fuzzy around the edges. It's not as clean and clear, so it looks a little bit more fabricated, a little more handmade, so to speak.
Whoever...
This
Yeah, go ahead, Rook.
could this be considered cult deprogramming?
No, because what she will discover as you start... let's hear how the description of how you are summoning magical energies to do this and create that weave that you will use to enter her mind.
Certainly kind of sitting her down, probably making use of circles and and appropriate symbols and some candles as well to help with the channeling.
I'm gonna be mean and ask you to convince Ninhalaska to agree to this.
Okay.
Because otherwise it's gonna be hard to keep her there. She is not at all keen on that idea, and I will roll 3d6 to resist that. Which is 1 success, so I guess you can roll your Machinator. So you're down to 3 fake
The
dice.
intimidating figure of Callisto assist with that. I mean, she's
Yep.
kind of like a pirate queen.
Yeah, that's absolutely something you can do. Callisto, you will roll then to assist with a convincing thing. Either, water, I guess, or wind if you want to give good arguments. How would you assist? Wind is your strongest blood. If you can motivate using wind somehow to convince Nin to go through this.
Sure. I'm gonna guess if wind's my strongest and Callisto's a fast talker, she would just... Whatever Taralese says, she would have some suggestion to back it up, some sort of... it's, she wants to light candles to get rid of the smell. She wants to, the symbols are the latest fashion and decor, yada yada.
She's lying intensely. Roll 3d6 for intelligent lies. There's logic here as well. Well, that's a success, which
I
is
got
good.
1 success.
Because if you didn't, there would be removal of dice. That adds a die to your roll there, Taralese. So you now have your water is again 2 plus Machinator.
I only got 1 because I assume Callisto knows shit about decor.
Yeah, 3. So 4 dice altogether. Versus.
Well, those points worth trying, though.
Exactly. Versus Nin's 1 success. Wow.
Nindarvali,
You
I need to
give
make
her
sure that
3 points of doubt right up and down, and that is enough to break her completely. We don't have to do another round of this. She is completely taken in by the chicanery and obfuscation of these 2 ladies who are just kind of saying this and that and then, and while you're doing this, there is a weave going on, so now feel free to continue with your weaving.
You two are terrifying.
Yep.
We though?
that's kind of like that's the point of her.
Yes.
So they have it set up and they manage to convince her that this is in her best interest in order to be able to confirm that her information is correct and is untarnished, and then eventually kind of reach out and just kind of palm forehead, just close her own eyes and just reach out into her and through the connection to dive into her memories and start seeing them through her own eyes. Kind of reliving it in this semi-vivid dreaming, lucid dreaming.
And as you enter her mind together with Callisto, you're kind of linked in this, and both of you can see the fine, esoteric, etheric weaving of the element of wind around Nin's mind. Someone who is very skilled with mentalism and very powerful has created this weave. You wouldn't even have seen it without Callisto's help. And you certainly didn't detect any residue on her just walking around her. It was just your deduction that, she was with the Shagolites. And, wow, whoever did this, you don't know if it was one person or several, but it's a powerful weave. In fact, in game terms, you needed 3 successes to defeat this. Which is, is a good thing that you had your 4. On your own, you would never have been able to even scrape this spell. But together with Callisto, you do have enough power to, in fact, dispel it, if you want. And completely undo the implanted memory that someone put there.
She will certainly do that. She'll find the thread, pull on it, and watch it all unravel.
Yeah. And Nin is sitting there and... What happened?
You're gonna be okay, child.
Oh, the Shagolites! The Shagolites! The horror!
Callisto will busy herself making her a tea to sleep while she talks.
I was drugged. It must have been drugs. No, it was a spell or something.
Magic, child.
It was, I don't know what it was. I couldn't think, and then I woke up, and I must have been out for an entire night, and I woke up, and I was over there, and they truly are green. There was a Shagolite who spoke to me. He was a green face. He looked me in the eyes, and then I don't remember anything. And then here now. He had a staff. It had a claw on the end of the staff, and the claw was twisting. It was alive. He was dressed in purple and had some kind of hat on his head. Moss green skin. It was cracked like old bark. And the face was like a mask that had floated out. I don't know. He's big. Horrifying. There were things flying there. I couldn't see it properly, though.
Things flying, as in the room that this was all happening in, or?
Yes. I think I saw the shadows. Huge bat-like wings, but enormous, like... I don't know.
Fuzzies?
No, not such. These were other things. I don't know, I didn't get a clear look.
Did you get any color?
No.
Does the staff mentioned sound like a known staff of power, or?
You have no idea.
Was there anyone else there with you? And she'll describe Malak. Was Malak Mungus with
I'll
you?
allow Callisto actually to roll 3d6 for wind, and Taralese can also do that, I suppose. Okay, you can add 2 dice to your roll, Taralese, because you being the character in this moment, I'm gonna say that you are the one who can draw the deductions. You do have, even with basic mentalism, okay, success at a cost. I think I'm gonna give Taralese a point of fear.
That's fair.
As she realizes that the staff with the writhing claw and a huge thing with bat wings, are they involved in demonology? Are they summoning things from beyond the veil? What made all those little tears on Nin's clothes when she came in? It was like someone had rolled her in barbed wire, except barbed wire doesn't exist in this world. Maybe in a very thorny bush? Now she's obviously changed clothes since then.
Right.
What could make that?
Do you ever seamstress look at her clothing?
Yeah, you could. Some kind of barbs? But they're like the entire body.
But are they in any kind of pattern, like a 3-claw versus a 4-claw? Like if you've ever tried looking at like bear
Paw
versus
prints.
a big cat, yeah.
Yeah.
Not really, not anything that you could recognize, no.
Well,
Barb whip.
Erald will want to know about this.
oh yes. Oh yes, he is going to be a very happy inquisitor.
Here, child, drink this.
Yes, I think you need to sleep.
Yeah, she will definitely like to go to sleep now.
Well, that was a mess in there.
Well, thank you for your help, Callisto. That was certainly much more enlightening than I ever expected it to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody should probably burn that fucking Shagalite tower down.
Oh, I don't disagree, and there's certainly several other Shagolites that need to go down, but this is all wonderful information, but for now, we need to keep her safe.
Yeah.
I think it's time to go back to Malakai.
Are we bringing
Yeah,
Nin
well-
to Malakai? Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
That could
To
work.
keep things honest, you gave me the point for doing my bane. Is
Yep.
that breaking the rules for me to still interact in RP? It just means I can't physically go out and do anything, correct?
No, I mean they've played out a scene now where they have in fact
Brilliant.
done the thing. So by the time they get back to the unicorn, you are good to go.
Well, I'm not sober, but I'm coherent.
You coherent enough, yes. I would probably require a few
Is-
more hours to heal up any misery and things like that. Like,
Is Callisto strong enough to physically carry Nin?
no.
Okay.
I mean, alternatively, it could just be after we finish that up. Taralese would, kind of just check on things and make sure extra guards are posted, any that aren't looking quite as dazed as the staff had been looking.
Yeah, the staff are still equally in that regard. Of course, there's been a lot of activity here. Like, the Procurator, you saw earlier when you were walking back towards the garrison, you saw a troop of soldiers who were walking away. They must have been like 20 or so along the path somewhere towards the east. Not down to the Sulphur camp, somewhere else.
I
So
can probably go get some of the boys to help.
there's been a lot of yeah, you can definitely do that. There's been a lot of activities in town right now, and I think it's enough of a very upset beehive for you to basically smuggle in back down to the unicorn without too much trouble.
Yeah, because the tea I would have given her would have been something like a chamomile mixture, something to calm her nerves, nothing to necessarily drug her to sleep.
Yeah, also you don't have herbalism or such like. That's potion maker, so that's.
So I
not
wouldn't have
in
been
your
able to
expertise.
do anything that strong. It would have just been
Yeah.
like a wives' cure.
Yeah, for sure.
Here,
Nothing
have a couple.
very strong alcohol couldn't help with, too.
Exactly.
Indeed.
The tea probably has a shot of whiskey in it.
Yes, and there are good reasons for why we use that as a remedy sometimes. Calming the nerves.
Just a little something to calm the nerves.
Yes.
So she would still be able enough to probably walk between us.
Yeah, not a problem at all. And with that, I'm gonna say that you're at noon on Misiska 21st. Is this a place where we should take a break in the narrative and wait for 2 weeks until other horrifying things might happen? I know that we have an Inquisitor and Digitalonga agent who wants to get back to town and kick down doors and what was that? Kick names and take ass? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. The Praanz is gonna fuck shit up as soon as she gets back to town.
I'm
I
pretty
think we've
sure she
officially. I think we've officially found the mashed potatoes.
will.
Yes, we have.
Mashed
There's a
langox! Mashed
big-
langox!
Bowl of them in the Iron Tower.
Indeed.
Um,
Very well.
was looking at something, and just to make sure I'm recording this in my notes correctly, what we got from the special mission that was +5 to the 2 I already had in resources. Yes. Giving
Yeah,
me
it's a
total
lump
of
sum
7.
it's a lump sum of 5, which means that you have 5 temporary money dice, and you decide when you want to add those money dice to a wealth roll to buy something. And you can decide to use 1 die or all 5 at once. That's entirely up to you.
I was looking at the character sheet, and I wasn't aware if there was a stat I saw, wealth. I didn't know if it moved me up or down on that.
It does not. It does not. Because
Okay.
the wealth is like permanent income, and this was just one big wad of gold.
I'm using outlaw economy. I
Yeah.
understand this.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing you have to consider, Rook. You just got enough gold to completely destabilize the economy.
Goddamn right I did.
I don't see where that is a problem. I
just
think
in the special
Malakai
mission.
managed to dodge the Trakorian authorities because we rolled terribly for the Procurator and his.
Well, you painted such a pretty picture. I had to use it against you.
That's
of
fine.
course you had. I will acknowledge that. So Malakai
Rook is
well
Praanz's
funded in terms of
ally. That
thinkers.
allows him certain liberties.
What was your temporary goal for this session, Taralese?
I was slightly sneaky and I said, get the horse.
Yes, you did, and you did get the horse. So there we go. That's a fate die for getting the horse. And of course, Praanz and Erald did exactly what they should do with stuff. So you have fulfilled your temporary goals as well, which means that I'm now down to just 6 dice in the chalice, if my calculation is correct. Because
Well, I was hoping to get back to town this turn, but that's okay. I'll get back to town next session.
yes, I believe so. Because investigations have been ongoing and gone okay, I suppose.
Gosh, you should have asked to run Kakiba and completely fucked that scene up.
I will add a fate die, a further fate die to Erald for Destiny to further rid this land of anti-creationists, because I think you have taken actions towards that as well. So there we go. Okay, there we are, and new Game of Shadows turn coming up, and in a couple of weeks we will see what happens. The adventurers will do shenanigans. They're also on the 21st, I can tell you. But on the evening of the 21st, so they're like 12 hours ahead or something like that. Mayhem will ensue in Arham, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. I think Praanz might bring some mayhem. Do you think Praanz might be?
Oh, Praanz is gonna bring some fucking mayhem.
She's gonna bring some freaking mayhem. And she has the documents to do it.
He does. Yeah. Next, yeah. There's gonna be some shutdowns.
There's gonna be some shutdowns. We will see how the Shagvelites fare in all this.
Wait, are you saying you're going to play the trap card?
I'm gonna play the trap card.
Oh, fuck, shit's getting ready to get tense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Thanks everyone for watching and listening, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, folks.
Thanks,
See you,
folks.
folks.
See you.
Later.
That was a pretty fucking good